Mr. Blaze, have you seen any evidence that the personal devices of the people who are using Signal were compromised or not compromised?
I've seen no evidence one way or the other.
Yeah, so we don't actually know if their phones were compromised or not, but we do know from the articles I just sent into the record that certainly the vice president was already a target. And certainly if I were looking to target someone, I would look at our national security advisors. I just have to say that I'm glad I haven't heard from the administration much about this being an error, but I'm glad I'm hearing it from some. But what I really want to hear from the administration is that they made a mistake, that they're going to fix it, and here are the steps they're going to take to make corrective actions in fixing what was a serious, serious blunder and serious leak of national security intelligence. And that's my problem with this, is that even if you say that mistakes happen, there are no steps right now in fixing this as far as I know. And there's no one admitting that they made a mistake. And there's nobody telling us what corrective actions are actually being taken, how prevalent this issue was. I entered into the record earlier about how previous administrations were hesitant to use Signal for this very reason that our witnesses are telling us today. One witness said that Signal could actually be hacked, even though it is encrypted end-to-end, because we now have quantum computing. That's a really good point. And then Mr. Blaze, Dr. Blaze has also mentioned that these systems are vulnerable, even setting aside Signal itself. And we have 13,000 secure facilities across the country, and we have staff for every one of these national security experts who are there for the very purpose of making sure that they can communicate anywhere at any time around the world, troop movements and other sensitive classified information. And so it's not like we haven't given the administration the resources to communicate securely. It's just they decided not to. And in doing so, I think they've broken at least 6 laws in regards to security as well as transparency. And I think this is a big problem, that the administration has broken these laws and not admitted any sort of fault or mistake. And the response has been to just toss this aside as ho-hum or chicken little, I think was said earlier. I think there needs to be more attention paid to what happened, how prevalent it is, and what the administration is actually going to do about it. And so this is relevant because today's hearing is about compromising our telecommunications infrastructure. But if you did a poll, I think we have a study of all the chief information security officers. I think 80% said that human risk was the #1 problem in securing cybersecurity and telecom information. And I'd actually ask you, Mr. Blaze, would you agree with that characterization that human error might be the #1 concern when it comes to telecom risks?
That's probably true, although I'd quibble a little bit with how we define human error. A lot of human error is inevitable because of poor design choices for the systems that we use.
But I guess what I would really like is to just have an investigation into what happened. And one of the things I'd like to share with my colleagues is that we've actually asked for an investigation. I think there are only Democrats on the letter to the administration right now, but I know some senators on the Republican side have actually openly asked for some sort of investigation. But at least we can get to the bottom of what happened, how prevalent this is, what we can do to fix it so that it never happens again. I hear that that's a shared goal, and I'd like to see us work together in doing that. And so instead of trying to sort of brush this aside as something that isn't a big deal, let's admit that it was a big deal, and let's try to take steps to fix it and not just try to cover this up. Thank you, and I yield.